Yo, what is good YouTube, and welcome back to another video. And in today's video we're going to be talking about the infamous downfall of the game Dig. Dig was a very big part of my channel. It helped me grow so much, and it is so sad to see the game in its current state as it is. In this video I'm going to be talking about obviously what they have added since I have been gone, which I'm not going to lie isn't very much, and also I'm going to be talking about why I believe that the game did die. So stick around to the end of the video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys very shortly. So it feels weird to say this, but we're back on Dig, and from looking around, from what I know, I don't think much has changed, but hey, I could be completely wrong. From what I've seen is there's only been about one update, and there's something to do with this new takeover event, but besides that, I don't think anything has happened to this game. I went away for a month due to a lot of personal issues, and I've come back and the game looks the same. I just want to know what happened to this game. And in today's video we're going to be kind of looking around, seeing what the new stuff is. Obviously, you know, we got a dungeon over here, we got, you know, a thing over here, we got a thing in the top left, and I heard there's some like cherry blossom area as well. But we're also just gonna be talking about what happened to Dig. Okay, so the first thing we are going to go over is I think they added like a cherry blossom area, but I'm not too sure about that. But let's go ahead and go over here and check. But we're also going to be talking about what happened to this game. So from what I know is basically Fish kind of came back. Other games like this started coming out, like games like Prospecting. A lot more games like this have been coming out recently, and I think they just kind of gave up. And I'm going to give my opinions of why this game died in this video. In my personal opinion, the reason this game did unfortunately die is because they were just releasing the same content over and over again. And I know it's very hard to release different content for a game like this, where it is literally just about digging up items and getting new things. But there is also a way to easily make people actually want to grind the game. If we go back to the incident of, if I go into my equipment bag and we go on over to this thing like the black hole shovel, if you guys haven't watched that video, you guys can go ahead and watch it, but it's kind of irrelevant now. But when that first came out, that was a shovel that was very hard to go ahead and obtain and go ahead and get your hands on. The only bad thing about it is because this shovel was so hard to go ahead and get, the people that went for it, unfortunately, like myself, it took me around 7 or 8 hours to go ahead and get this. And for it to then be one of the worst shovels that we have ever seen in this game, is one of the reasons it's made people stop grinding, because the whole point of this game was grinding. Another part of this game is the fact of they locked the second world, which was the moon, behind a quest. And I'm not gonna lie, the quest was very hard, especially for players who wanted to do the new content. It was obviously get level 65, and there was also a lot more other things you had to go ahead and do. And if you hadn't completed the index before, it made it very hard to go ahead and do so. So I believe that people are sitting here waiting weeks, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, maybe even just like 1 week for content to come out, and then it to be locked behind. Obviously, you know, I understand people need to do level progression, and it's like, it's obviously supposed to be for the people that play the game more. They're supposed to be able to access the new content faster. But with them removing the ways of leveling up so fast, of how everybody did get to level 100, of obviously the boss killing and the boss damage, and that is just genuinely how people were able to level up fast. With them nerfing that and changing that and making that basically impossible to go ahead and do, then making something be level 65 to go ahead and even be able to play any of your new content that you're going to be adding in the future, I think was a little bit of a stupid move. And I'm not coming towards any of the devs, because this is an amazing game. This game is a lot better than most games out there, and obviously, you know, I feel like this game should have got a lot more love and attention than it did, and I feel like they just needed to give it a lot more love and attention themselves, because they started getting sloppy with their updates, they started delaying their updates, and then they just started releasing things that just didn't even help people progress in the game. From what I know from this cherry blossom update here, I'm not gonna lie, this area looks absolutely beautiful. I'm not gonna say it doesn't, but I'm gonna say that basically they went ahead and added this cherry shovel over here, and if I go ahead and try and find this in my inventory, I believe it's just a terrible shovel. Yeah, as you guys can see, control of 9, strength of 7.5, haste of 3, and a luck of 9. Apparently this update was only supposed to help newer players, and it's like we're not even at the stage of that where you need to add something into the game to go ahead and help newer players. Obviously there was a quest giver who was able to go ahead and give you different quests, but I'm not gonna lie, the rewards from them were also very lackluster as well. But recently they've went ahead and joined the takeover event that is part of Roblox. Basically they have went ahead and said buy the hammer shovel and dig up items. So if we go ahead and click play on this, we go ahead and start the challenge. So first off, we need to figure out where do we buy the hammer shovel, but the takeover challenges are disabled in private servers. So let me go ahead and jump on over into a public server, and then I'm going to give my opinion on a couple more other things. So now that we have went ahead and jumped on over into a public server, we are able to go ahead and speak to this takeover guy over here. And he's obviously going to say, "Sup, are you ready for a challenge?" I'm going to go, "Yes, I'm going to choose a challenge." I'm obviously going to choose the challenge where it is to buy the toy hammer and dig up items. So if we go ahead and start that challenge, as you guys see, the toy hammer is indeed right here. And if we go ahead and purchase the toy hammer and we go on into our inventory, it should be somewhere in here that we are able to go ahead and equip it. And then we need to claim a certain amount of items. And what does it say here? Complete the tutorial, dig up 13 items with the shovel, and then you continue and you get 2 things. So if we go ahead and try and dig up with this shovel, and I bet it's going to be absolutely terrible, and I wasn't wrong. This is what I mean. They're adding content that isn't really for late game players. Obviously, I know that this is part of a Roblox event, and this is for them to obviously, you know, get other people involved in the game and trying to revive their game by bringing it into a Roblox event. But I'm not going to lie to you, that is not what this game needed. I think this game needed just a little bit of more rebalancing, a little bit more looking into what they're actually releasing, and a little bit more just listening to what the community actually wanted. Because yes, cool, they added a brand new rarity when they obviously added the prismatic in, but that also made it a lot harder for the people that were closer to finishing their index and stuff like that. And I feel like they just started adding things that we didn't really need at the moment in time. I feel like, you know, the boss aspect and everything of this part of the game was very, very cool, but I feel like they could have done a lot more with it. Obviously, the boss that they added in the moon was really, really cool. Obviously, they added a lot more to it, but to actually be able to go ahead and summon in that boss, you had to do a lot of work. And then they went ahead and nerfed things very fast. Like, we would find a new thing that is really, really good, and then they would go ahead and nerf them as fast as they obviously got them in the first place, which I also did not like about this game. Especially being a content creator, I would put out content for people to say, like, this is the new best way to do this is the new best way to get money, the new best way to, you know, do this, this, and this, and then they would just go ahead and nerf it, but as soon as people figure it out. But the whole point of games like this, just like in Fish and games like that, is these areas are supposed to be overpowered, and you're supposed to let people use these overpowered areas, especially until you bring out a new update. Also, another thing that I have noticed with this game is, for some reason, their optimization has always been terrible, and with each update the optimization just gets worse and worse. I have a very, very good PC, I also have very, very good internet, but this game has always been a bit of a struggle to go ahead and run, especially when running the max graphics you are able to run in this game. And yes, this video is going to be a little bit of a yapping video, just because I'm just very upset with the state of Dig at the moment, and I wish it obviously went differently. And I wish, you know, this game maybe has its revival, just like Fish recently has had its revival, but I do obviously don't really think that that is going to happen, just for the pure fact of there isn't really much to this game. And people may say the same thing with Fish and different things like that, but I feel like the quest lines and stuff in Fish, and specifically the things that you have to do to go ahead and get your hands on, you know, certain rods. And the thing is, the rods actually being very, very cool. Obviously, they went ahead and added the aquarium in recently, which, you know, gives people the opportunity to go ahead and, you know, showcase some of their best catches that they've ever got. And it also allows them to, you know, level up and stuff offline. They obviously went ahead and added the drills in this game, which I'm not going to lie, it's just made people not want to play the game at all. I personally do not need to play this game at all. I can just come in every single day, put down my 3 drills and leave, because each drill makes me a lot of money, and I'm making profit off them no matter what I am doing, which is, you know, it's very, very sad, and it's very, very annoying. But I also do see why they did it, but I'm not gonna lie, they shouldn't have done it the way that they did, because they were already losing players in the first place. So why would they then go ahead and make it so, you know, just make it so people don't even have to play the game? Buy the toy hammer and dig up things, win 5 whack-a-mole games and dig up 30 items. Let's go ahead and actually try out this whack-a-mole thing, and then once we tried out this, we're going to go ahead and jump on into the new dungeon thing. So as you guys see, this is pretty easy to go ahead and do. It's just as soon as they pop up, we just go ahead and hit them, and a lot of you guys have probably already tested this out for yourself, but I kind of just wanted to join into Dig and just see what have they been doing for the past month, because they haven't really told us much about what's going on. They've said that, oh, people have been ill, so they haven't been able to go ahead and do updates. But I'm not gonna lie, like, you know, it's not a very hard game to go ahead and, you know, actually be able to update. And I am messing up so bad right now. But yeah, obviously they went ahead and added a dungeon thing. I feel like that could be cool. I feel like that could be a thing that, you know, they should have added probably earlier down the line, or maybe added it as one of the main updates. And also another thing that I think, you know, kind of ruined this game's reputation. I mean, I know it only happened once, but the first update is going to be like the update that's going to hook people. It's going to be the update that's going to, you know, you're going to be able to tell people, you know, this is what we're planning on doing with the game. And I'm not going to lie, their first update was literally an event that didn't didn't mean anything because you would wait for like, I think it's like 4 hours or something for a blood moon event, which would make more sense if you were only able to dig up the items during the blood moon event. But no, the items you were actually able to go ahead and get was just by simply buying a crate at spawn and spam opening loads of them. I believe I still have blood moon chests. Yeah, as you guys see, it was literally just buying these chests, plopping them down and getting the items out of it, and it was literally just who has more money. That's literally all it was, and the event was kind of useless. Plus, also what came out with that update is when the update first went ahead and dropped, it actually wiped everybody's data for about 20-30 minutes, and they didn't know why. And for that being your first update where you've got, you know, 90,000 people, 100,000 people, everything like that on your game, it is probably not the best thing to have your first update, one, be lackluster, and two, also have so many issues when first coming out with it. But here we go, we got the takeover, the dungeon, the master challenge, and I think I had to go ahead and equip this, and I do not know what this is. Oh, is this okay? So they've just added something new to make divines look different. Okay, that's kind of cool, I guess. I mean, they're adding these little things now, but they're adding little things that don't really matter. Equip the toy hammer shovel to join the dungeon. Also, don't forget to complete the noob and pro challenges. Okay, so I can't even actually go ahead and do that, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know if I want to stay in this game to go ahead and do so. And like I said, this has been a more yappier style video, and kind of just telling you guys why I haven't been uploading Dig and why most people are not playing it. This game went from having about 40 to 50,000 concurrent players every single day down to now about 700, which is really, really sad, and I really did enjoy this game. Obviously, a lot of these people right here are only playing this game just before the purpose of the takeover event. These people aren't going to play this game after, which I really wish that they did, and I did enjoy this game a lot. But basically, this is me just saying that this is going to be my final video on Dig. If you guys have any suggestions for any other games, I have a couple games that I'm trying to get early access to be able to post for you guys. I may start a fish journey, but we never know, and obviously we need to see what we're going to be doing moving forward with the channel. But thank you guys so much for all the support that you've shown me recently. But it's been Zez, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out and ka-chow.